Hello and welcome to This Car Pod.
I'm Kennan.
I'm Filippo.
And there's a lot to discuss. Let's start with the news. Ferrari. What happened?
Well, it was Ferrari had a tough time recently. So they recently, the Ferrari's a publicly traded company, so they had to announce their plans for the upcoming models. And one of the things they're announcing is their focus on electric. They're going to be introducing an electric supercar at some point, and the market wasn't pleased about this.
Okay, no, we got to be correct about this. The market was not pleased because as part of that same 10-year plan, they decreased their forecasted numbers. So is that related to their product mix? Surely in some way, but it is not that investors said, oh, we hate that they're releasing an electric vehicle. It's Ferrari said they're not going to grow as quickly as they've been growing.
Yeah, but I think the two things are probably linked.
They're linked.
There's a lot of other market forces happening that means that Ferrari is being relatively conservative.
That's true.
But they had their worst day since 2016. Tough.
Yeah, but okay. Great. It was inevitably going to happen, right?
Yeah, the market does not like when any company announces guidance or earnings that are lower than previous forecasts.
Yeah.
Ferrari has always had this incredible profit margin and this incredible growth that everybody's been obsessed with. Ferrari is trying to temper some expectations, probably in part because of some of their electric strategy that isn't really going to continue like it maybe was given the current situation.
Yes. So I don't really know exactly what it's hard because Ferrari is a really difficult company to manage because it's so they have this reputation for making the fastest, most involving experiential cars. And so it's hard to then direct that product strategy into the future if it's going to be it's just a difficult brand to manage.
It's a difficult brand to manage, certainly. What they
who
have
are
said,
they at the end of the day?
They're a company that makes a lot of money.
That's
primarily
right now.
Listen to this: 40% of Ferrari sales they had forecasted 3 years ago that 40% of their sales would be electric. And now they're saying only 20% of their sales.
By 2030, only 20% will be electric.
Which is pretty far in the future. Like they've
it's 4 years, but yeah.
Yeah, but a lot of brands said that are only going to be electric. Yeah. Ferrari has cut the amount by half of the numbers of vehicles that are going to be fully electric.
Yeah, they continue to say they're going to release 20 new cars over the next several years, which is
but that includes whenever
it's always
say that it's versions. It's versions of exist. You know, the 12 cylinder is going to spawn 9 different cars. If you go on their website, there's going to be a 12 cylinder XX and a 12 cylinder convertible and a 12 cylinder GTB.
That already exists.
You get my point.
But yes, that's true. I'm hoping that if they've at least looked at Porsche, one of those cars will be something with a manual transmission.
Oh, it won't.
Kind of series.
It won't be. Hoping, though.
Well, I mean, I'm hopeful. But yeah, you say this, but the SP3 is an NAV12. No hybrid assist. That's kind of a backward step in a lot of ways. So I don't know.
The electric Ferrari is supposedly going to be called the Ferrari Elettrica.
Yep. Yes.
You're aware of this?
Yeah. They haven't been doing their best naming for the last 15, 20 years.
The Italians think, and correctly, that most words in their language sound amazing. So like quattro porte, like it just means 4-door. But they can't always get away with it.
Right, they should call the next one the Ferrari Filippo.
You know what they ought to do?
Sure.
They ought to base their naming decisions on how the word sounds in English. Elettrica, no.
12 cilindri.
12 cilindri, no.
Was that good?
We're good.
Not bad. What about the Ferrari LaFerrari? Did you enjoy that years ago?
I always liked that in the Enzo Ferrari.
Yes, that's
Ferrari
right.
Enzo
the Enzo Ferrari. Not the Ferrari Enzo.
Do you think that they at the factory they still call it the Enzo Ferrari? You know what I mean?
I'm sure they're pedantic about it, like I am.
Anyway, Ferrari, we'll see. It's interesting. This is yet again, another example of an automaker that is cutting guidance, cutting forecasts on electric vehicles.
Although 20% of their sales will be electric by 2030 is still a pretty ambitious target, given that they don't have a single electric model
I have a suspicion this isn't the only cut they're going to make. They apparently in the guidance where they issued this, they said that they made the change to the EV target due to a client-centric approach to their product portfolio. In other words, people don't want this crap. We'll see if they still want it when it's 20%. Maybe it's going to be 10% or 3%.
40% hybrid is also kind of interesting.
Well, but already there's
hybrid.
I'm actually surprised it's only 40% hybrid because it seems to me that almost all the new Ferraris that launch are hybrids. The 12 cylinder isn't, but the 296 is.
It's a Purosangue.
But the Purosangue is not. It's an V12. But it's coming.
It is widely assumed that a hybrid V8.
But the Amalfi isn't. Don't forget, like the 296 and the SF90 really were the first two.
I know, but we're talking about within the next 5 years. And my presumption is that the Amalfi and the Roma will be redesigned with an electric.
Maybe that's what we're hit on. It's like these next models are just going to be engine changes. They're just going to change them to smaller hybrids. Maybe that's what it is.
That's the kind of thing that automakers, when they say stuff like that, 30 new models, it's like the Defender 110 Trek Edition. Oh, there's one new model.
One interesting question here is, for the last decade, Ferrari has been able to sell every car they build. So they,
more or less.
Until the SF90.
They're still able to sell them, to be clear.
Not really.
Really. There are a lot that were sitting in dealers.
Yes, they didn't cut production as a result of demand. They produce the cars, the cars they want to sell. So they have more control than most other automakers on what their actual product mix is, because they do have people that will buy whatever car they build. And so maybe we'll see 40-40-20. 40% ICE, 40%.
Maybe. But the SF90, though, the reason that we highlight SF90 is because it shows they don't have perfect control. It's not like the Birkins. They can't just, whatever they make is sold.
Right.
There's the buyers turn out to be maybe a little more discerning than Ferrari had hoped. And I have a suspicion that the reason you see such a huge decline here is because the market has been riding the wave of them being able to do whatever they want. And if there's even a little bit of chink in the armor, that scares investors. Because there's just been this certainty since Ferrari became a public company 10 years ago that they could just kind of print money.
Race,
baby. What's our next news story?
Oh, yeah. So this is the Mercedes Vision Ionic concept. This is an EV car that Mercedes-Benz plans to make, and they've kind of, as we've been talking about in the office, kind of seem to have taken the Jaguar approach to its design. However, Mercedes specifically says that it pairs 1930s style with future tech.
Now, doesn't not, I guess?
I don't know if you're familiar with history, but you know how Mercedes says they wanted to be the bad guy? I don't think picking from the 1930s is the bad guy they should be picking.
You know what, Kennan? You're not going to have to worry about it, because the only thing I can promise you about this vehicle is that it will not, under any circumstances, in any way, go into production even slightly resembling what this is.
Yeah,
this is going to be yet another incredibly cool concept car that everybody agrees is incredibly cool. Everybody fawns all over. Everybody obsesses all over. And then in the end, when it comes out, it is a trim package on the C-Class Coupe.
Do we think it's incredibly cool?
Distilled down.
Yes. Have you seen the rear? The rear looks like a 300 SL Gullwing.
They said they took a lot of the design comes from the 540K and the SSK, and the rear they took from the 300 SL. And the interior is kind of odd looking too. It actually looks very old.
I think this thing is cool as hell. It's on 30s. It's on 30s or 34s.
Which is a bit much.
But the whole car is only about 44 inches high.
Right. Now, the other thing that they wanted to point out is that this car uses wafer-thin solar panels, because they're hoping to increase the EV range using that. Now, of course, that's nothing new.
No, Aptera does it too.
I don't know. It is really cool, but like you said, I assure you, it's not going to look like this.
No, it will not. It won't ever come out. Remember the Accelero?
Of course.
Pull up the Accelero.
Who doesn't remember that?
Show the audience the Accelero. Forgot you. You don't remember it, do you?
Of course I do.
You do not.
I also, not only that, I can
Live Accelero. Yeah.
Well, that's a poor image of it. Go pull back out. Let's see. This one's better.
Oh, that one.
Oh. No, well, but those are the bad wheels. You want there you go.
Good wheels.
When people ask me what car would come and fire your dad more than any other car,
those became the base R230 wheels.
Yeah, that's right. And they were the SLR concept car wheels on the original SLR concept.
I forgot about that.
And they were the Accelero wheels, and it never went into production.
It's got XLR mirrors.
But do you know what happened to this car?
No.
It eventually got out, and someone owns it.
Really?
A person, a human, not you.
Which wheels do you think they have on it?
Not even me. These. Or maybe they were the 57S wheels that eventually got out. I don't remember. Anyway, it doesn't matter. The point is, this is a very cool concept car for Mercedes. They're not going to build it. I will say it is a little Jaguar-esque. We all made fun of Jaguar a year ago when they did this. And here's Mercedes-Benz doing Jaguar.
Yep.
Just better.
Long hood, low body. That's it.
Do you agree, though, that
Big wheel.
we take Mercedes more seriously?
Oh, yeah.
So, like, this came out and it was pink. Like, the only real difference is it was Jaguar and it was pink.
Well, they also look different.
And we all thought it was stupid. And then Mercedes comes out with this and it's not Jaguar and it's not pink. And we're like, ooh.
It's pretty scary. I mean, it's got the Mercedes 3-point thing in the headlights, which is a bit much, but I think it looks
I think it's cool as hell. And I hope that they build it, but they won't. Next news story, please. Are you aware of this? Toyota Toyota did a big press conference, I don't know, a week ago.
The Tokyo Mobility conference, whatever it's called.
But Toyota specifically had this giant reveal, and everybody thought they were going to reveal their new supercar, which presumably will be as overrated as the LFA. And instead they revealed...
They hope it will be.
Instead they revealed the replacement to the Lexus LS. You say, you already knew? This is called the LS Concept.
Yeah, no, I know.
It's a 6-wheeled minivan.
Yep.
That was the stupidest thing they showed, but they also showed some other stuff. Go to the next two. This is a concept of the new Corolla, which I think looks awesome.
I think it looks great.
Another vehicle. If it looks that cool, we know it ain't going into production.
We're going with awesome. Interesting.
You don't like how this looks?
No.
It's like a Cadillac Sienna.
It is like a Cadillac Sienna,
mixed in with a Lincoln Sentinel. Pull up the Lincoln
it's a
Sentinel.
Cadillac Sienna mixed in with a Model Y. We all agree.
No, it's a Sienna and a Lincoln Sentinel. You know what the Lincoln Sentinel is?
I don't know the Lincoln Sentinel.
This is your problem. You don't have enough real deep automotive.
Yeah, no, I'm going to stick with what I said, but it's fine. It's okay.
There's a lot of Lincoln Sentinel in this thing.
Wait, there's legitimately a Toyota product. What Toyota product is that reminding me of?
The current Corolla.
No, there's something that had that square tail. I'll think
There is a little
there.
Model Y to it. But either way, that's a Corolla concept. We don't know if that'll actually come out in production. But one of the things we do know is if they're showing it as a concept car, it won't be a real car.
It seldom
Right.
is.
It will end up being watered down. So if you hate this, great.
Except for the Carrera GT, which was even more
Well,
powerful.
Porsche concept cars are always, they don't know how to do a concept. The Germans don't know how to be imaginative. They're like a concept car, we'll make it slightly different from what we know the real car will be like.
German.
That's
Is
true.
it like a Mirai? Is that what I'm getting?
That's a good point.
From the back? Like a second-gen Mirai? First-gen Mirai?
Go to the last one. This is Filippo's favorite thing. Filippo, tell us.
Yeah, all right. So you're familiar with Century.
Century.
They make V12 and V8 powered, like Rolls-Royce of Japan.
Yeah.
Right? We sell a bunch of them with V12s. They're wonderful, but there's new ones too. Part of this announcement, it has Toyota creating a sub-brand for Century, just like they did for Scion or Lexus years and years ago, which will be positioned above Lexus as their luxury trim.
Ultra luxury.
Ultra luxury. Brand, rather, not trim. It's also implied that it might leave Japan for the first time. No Century model has been sold outside of Japan. This might be the first time that actually
So we might have an LX700H Century.
It would be the Century,
Maybe.
whatever they call it.
Maybe.
No, they have shown diagrams of how they're positioning their brands.
But Maybach is a sub-brand.
Lexus,
Denali is a sub-brand.
Toyota, Daihatsu.
We'll see. We'll see.
I think it would be separate. It'd be very exciting to have another.
There's no way
Actually,
they're going to
no, I
launch
don't
a
really care.
dealer network with super luxury cars. I
You
promise
put
you
it
that.
as part of the Lexus dealer network,
Yeah, you
admittedly, but you renamed the cars at least.
I bet they won't.
Also, do you know what the Century SUV looks like?
Yeah, it's cool.
It looks cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe that'll come.
Filippo dreams that maybe we'll get a really nice Toyota.
That's what
By the way,
Filippo wants
go
for
back a
Christmas.
photo. You can't tell me this doesn't look like a first-gen Mirai, the rear. Like that, kind of flat tail. Keep
It looks like a
It looks
Lincoln
cool.
Sentinel.
Keep going, it's fine.
It looks like a Lincoln. Folks, tell him. Write to him
going,
at
it's
Filippo
fine.
at Filippo.net.
Wow, Filippo on that. I wish I owned that.
Philadelphia.net.
The Century thing is, I guess, interesting depending on how they launch it. Century has zero name recognition outside of Japan. Zero.
But Lexus had zero name recognition when it launched, and well, look at it now.
Yeah, but that required an unbelievable investment, and it took forever.
Yeah.
And Scion, they did the same thing, and it failed. So
But did it?
Yeah.
But
Is it around?
It could have. They killed it. They killed it.
Yeah, because it failed.
It was a different era. They had to kill some brands.
Failure back then is
Could have
different from
succeeded.
failure today.
It could have succeeded.
What? Yeah, so could have Saab. So I saw Fisker Karma. on the
could
road.
have. Yeah,
Could
no,
have
it'll
succeeded.
be tough. but it's doable.
Oldsmobile. I mean, we
I
can keep
think
going.
the concept of a Century sub-brand is laughable outside Japan. My guess is if they actually did it, they would use it as a branding thing like Maybach as top-end versions of
Yep,
Lexus.
I agree with that.
Either way, we're not getting a six-wheel
The-
Lexus minivan.
Almost certainly not, yeah. Agreed on that.
That I don't think is coming.
I want to start by giving a genuine thank you to Delete Me. They've been a longtime partner of ours, and that only happens when a product actually delivers for people, and this one does. Most people don't realize this, but your personal information is everywhere online, on sites you've never heard of. Data brokers collect things like your home address, phone number, emails, and even names of relatives, and then sell it. That's not just creepy. It can lead to spam, scams, and identity theft. That's exactly why I use Delete Me. It's a privacy service that actually removes your data from those sites. You don't have to spend hours hunting it all down. Delete Me does the work for you. The privacy experts go after your info. They remove it, and they keep doing it over and over as it comes back. You get a report that shows exactly what they found and what they removed. It's simple, it's effective, and honestly, it just gives me peace of mind. In a world where everything about you seems to end up online, it's nice to know someone's on your side cleaning up the mess. Take your data back. Get 20% off your Delete Me plan at joindeleteme.com/DeMuro and use promo code DeMuro at checkout. That's joindeleteme.com/DeMuro, code DeMuro.
All right, give us the next news story. The next one's a doozy. Okay, the new Honda Prelude.
Yeah.
You know, I've been making fun of Honda on this podcast, and I feel bad about it because they make some damn good cars.
They do. I had a Honda Civic hatchback rental car all last week, and it was phenomenal.
Really?
Yeah, it was really good.
I have to say, it was good. We went for a drive, and it was nice.
Yeah.
Who'd you rent it from?
One of the rental car companies.
You know, Honda doesn't sell to the rental car companies.
Incredibly, this car had 45,000 miles. Was the best option at the lot.
Yeah.
And had aftermarket tint.
Yeah, you know what? During COVID, they started buying from auctions, and they've never.
That must have been what happened.
Okay,
but I was supportive.
The new Honda Prelude. I've made fun of Honda on this podcast because Honda is so careful. We'll do an SUV, but we're not going to do a real one. We're going to make the Passport. And they're so cautious. They won't just go and actually do stuff. They kind of take a wait-and-see approach. That's why we got the Passport and the Acura SLX in the 90s. Because they were like, we're going to do an SUV at some point, but...
But then they came out and they crushed it with the Pilot and an MDX.
But it took them forever. It took them. I mean, the Pilot came out in 03. The Explorer came out in 91. So they for 13 years, they took a wait and see.
Yeah.
And then finally.
And they did something with the Isuzu, which was a mistake.
Which was a mistake in itself. Anyway, the Prelude's here, and it looks so cool. But
Does it?
Yes.
Okay, fine.
But in true Honda fashion, instead of giving us a Scion FRS competitor, rear-wheel drive and fun, front-wheel drive, automatic, hybrid.
Yep.
And the early reports out of Japan are the car has been tremendously popular in Japan, primarily with old people, 70 plus.
Yep.
I am, and this was reported in the news, and I assume that Honda in Japan was like, oh, it's been popular. I don't think that the Honda US probably loves the fact that the headline is old people love the Prelude.
No.
But of course old people love it because it's an automatic front-wheel drive slow car.
Right.
And it allows them to be sporty without making any commitments that are required of an actual sporty vehicle.
Yeah.
And it's just another example of Honda being too cautious.
Yep.
Yeah, you agree.
Fully.
You think they should have gone rear-wheel drive manual?
They should have at least led with sporty. In a way they did. Like, they could have put the Civic Si. They haven't fully announced powertrains, but...
It's the Civic Hybrid powertrain.
Civic Hybrid, which is a good powertrain, but they could have... It does have more torque than the Civic Si, but they could have led with something sportier, something a little bit more engaging than the car old people in Japan are choosing.
Old people in Japan are choosing it. It's a 200 horsepower, four-cylinder hybrid from the Civic Hybrid. It's an automatic only.
Good engine.
Do you want to take a guess, given that information? I'm going to point it over to you. 200 horsepower, front-wheel drive, hybrid four-cylinder, automatic only, based on the Civic. Take a guess what the base price is probably going to be around.
I feel like it should. I feel like it's going to be like 35, something else is what it should be, but I bet it's going to be a lot more than that.
42 is the current thought. They said between the Civic Sport Touring Hybrid, that's the best of the Civic hybrids, and the Civic Type R, which is somewhere between 35 and 47.
Just buy a Civic hatchback.
So
42, somewhere around there.
Going to be. Okay.
Buy a Civic hatchback.
Yeah, which people will. And this, you know what the sad part is? Honda's going to use this as an example of, well, we tried to do what the enthusiasts wanted and it didn't work. And it's like, it's like the new Integra. Well, we tried to do what enthusiasts wanted. Did you?
There's also that new other Acura, whatever, or the Honda, the like mini small SUV thing that Acura has revealed.
Oh, yes,
not the ADX, the other one.
The ADX.
No, the other one. There's a Honda one that's also named after some fame. Doesn't matter.
Oh,
I'll get there.
After something.
I'll get there.
Piano.
I'll get there. I'll get there. I'll get there. My brain isn't working. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
It's absolutely nuts, dude.
I will concede we're not doing great here.
I am sad that the Prelude is not more. And I only am covering this news story about the old people because I think it really crystallizes Honda's problem, which is that they are too cautious, and so they appeal to people. It's just not the point of a car like this. Toyota's been doing it now for 2 generations of the FRS.
Yep.
The Miata's been going on for 30 plus years, and they're sitting here. Oh, we'll do front wheel drive, and we'll do a little hybrid automatic, and they've missed the point completely of what is propelling those cars with enthusiasts and with sales in general. And I guarantee you, like so many other special Hondas, this is 1 generation and done.
Yep. All right, pull up the Acura RSX. That's what I'm going for.
The new RSX. Isn't that a concept though? Or are they doing
but they're doing it.
The Acura.
But the
No,
the
you got
new
to
one,
type in
2026.
new. It's a concept for now, I think.
Yeah, but it's pretty. We saw it at the
We
Quail.
can only hope
It was
that
not
this-
really a concept.
Of course, what will end up coming out, it looks like a fast 28-inch wheel
It's EV.
performance.
Yeah.
It will end up being
200 horsepower.
a front-wheel drive, EV with a range of 161 miles. And
I will say, a friend of mine who has owned 2 HRVs texted me when that came out and was like, "That's so exciting."
great. Well, they can keep selling to people in their own ecosystem. The
Yep.
problem is that group will not continue to get larger
Yep.
if they do that. Next news story, please. Please. Oh, the Chevy Bolt.
Is this a new news story?
This is the most interesting
Somehow.
news story in the entire thing.
It's up there.
The Chevy Bolt EUV, which that is, the Chevy Bolt, that's the EUV. The Bolt,
but, like,
the Bolt went
is it-
away 4 or 5 years ago, and we were done, and nobody cared.
Lighting on fire.
There was
Yes,
that.
there was
that
the-
happens. They've brought it back as of this week with the same body style. It took like a 4-year hiatus, and then they were like, "All right, let's go."
Same battery, same specs.
I presume so. Obviously, I haven't looked in this. I don't care. But the important part of the news story is the reason. When they canceled it, it was the second best-selling EV on the
Yeah.
market after the Model 3. And the reason they've returned it is because the tax credit has gone away, and the concept of a cheap EV
Yeah.
has changed. And suddenly, Bolty over here, which was always a cheap EV, suddenly becomes a lot more appealing.
I will say, seems like just about the same specs.
Yeah. Well, it was appealing before, but now it's especially appealing because this car is no longer competing against cars that have the tax credit.
Yeah.
It suddenly is like a pretty desirable vehicle if what you wanted was just a
And it's a good vehicle. Also,
Are
it now
you
has
interested,
faster
Kennan?
charging.
Not interested, but I suspect I won't have one.
Do you remember the Spark EV?
Of course.
Of course.
I
Okay.
also think often about the first gen Leaf, the second gen Leaf.
It is just interesting to see. This is how Chevy has already started to respond to the removal of the tax credit. We'll see
Yeah.
what other automakers do.
For what it's worth, they have two of the most competitive small SUV EVs.
General Motors.
Yeah, the Equinox and the Blazer are both legitimately competitive products.
What about
There's-
the Opel Ampera? Can you pull up an Opel Ampera?
Sure, the Chevy Volt existed in Europe as the
It's
Ampera.
AMPERA.
Like-
Yeah, if you want to call it any other cars that are very difficult names to spell, please
Please
let me
click
know.
on this one. You know,
The word amp is in it.
Pull
like-
that up. Pull that up.
You know?
If I had a Volt, a first gen Volt, and I don't, but I have a friend who does, I would rebody it.
I'm with you.
To look.
It's
Now-
like the Holden Monero people.
Oh
you know,
yeah.
with the GTOs. Like let's. Why isn't anybody doing this? This is a really cool rebody.
No,
you could
no,
pull
to be
off.
clear, it looks worse.
Oh,
than
yeah,
the actual
absolutely
Volt.
looks worse,
Okay,
yeah.
great. As long as we're aligned.
Oh yeah, but that's not the point. We want
Yeah.
to seem Euro and cool. Although I've never seen one of these in Europe. I've seen a bunch in the U.S. One time I was driving past the Port of Baltimore, and there were hundreds of them.
Wow. Okay, Purus?
Amperas.
Have you? Because we don't talk enough about the interior of the first gen Volt.
It was so interesting and good.
Yep. I'm not gonna make Kennan Google it. Although, man, do I want to?
It was really good. That white panel.
And it was like
cool.
blue on it.
It was
cool.
Chevy's first attempt at doing something good. They had been a company about that time for about 100 years, and they were like, all right, we're gonna do this.
Right, Corvette, not good.
Nah, it was the GMT 800 Quadra-Series, and it's
It was
Right,
That's right.
the Volt.
Right.
That's right. No, and the C2, Larry Shinoda. Okay, next news story. There more? Oh God.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
All right.
Audi.
Audi has for a long time been kind of hinting at the fact they might come out with an off-roader.
Yeah.
Like something to compete with the G-Wagon.
Yeah.
Somebody senior at Audi the past week has, in a couple of interviews, said basically, stay tuned. We haven't forgotten about this. So we may see an off-roader Audi.
This is just a rendering.
This is
I
a
should
rendering.
say.
That's
This
not
is
it.
not anything that's going to happen, but it's
No.
a rendering that someone made.
Volkswagen, of course, has a subsidiary that's called Scout that's bringing back the range extended EV SUV thing. They may work together. We don't really know. But also, Audi is finally building a Q9, or about to reveal a Q9, which will be finally, for the first time, their X7 GLS Navigator, et cetera, competitor.
I'm
Only
actually a
20
little
years too
sad
late.
about this because Audi has done this amazing job
Of
their SUVs. They have pulled off a coup that no one has ever really talked about, but has been like the most beautiful auto industry thing in the last decade. Audi decided when they came out with their luxury SUVs to put, instead of going small, midsize, large, to make two and position it between small and midsize and between midsize and large. And so the Q5 was always a little bigger than an X3.
Yep.
It was always but they priced it like an X3.
Yep.
And the Q7 was always a little bigger than an X5
Yep.
or any of the others, the GLE, whatever. But they priced it like a GLE, and it was this brilliant decision. They basically were like, we're going to give you GLS interior room, but at a GLE price. with the Q7, or we're going to give you GLE interior room, but at a GLC price with the Q5. It was so beautiful. And now they're conceding and doing the same thing.
They need to. It's an attractive market. The Q7, by the way, is in its second generation, but it's been in its second generation since 2013.
What is the story with
it
that?
has been up. It's insane because it's a good vehicle.
The Q7 is, everybody wants that. It's like hot. It like looks cool. Audi's a hot brand.
It hasn't changed how it looks.
They haven't updated it in forever. Why
2013
not?
is legitimately when I think that generation came out. No.
It's 2017.
2017.
It has that updated like edgy style.
2017 feels right. You're right.
It is weird that a vehicle that is so important has
9 years ago at this point.
It's time. We're ready.
It's time. But instead there'll be a Q9, which will be larger.
The Q9 will be larger, so maybe they will finally fit into the actual correct segments. The G-Wagon thing would be cool as hell.
Are we sad that the only one they're missing is Q1?
No.
Wait, there is a Q1.
There's a Q1 there's a Q2 overseas.
There's a Q2, a Q3.
Yeah.
A Q4.
Q2 is as little as it gets.
Q4, Q5, Q6, Q7, Q8.
Yeah.
I'm excited for Q9 and then Q10.
So this would be QX.
Ooh.
QX.
This would be interesting if they do you glossed over this, but the Scout thing is important to think about.
Yeah.
Volkswagen has this partnership with Scout, who's going to make this electric off-road SUV. If they do this, I guarantee it'll be some form of Scout situation, which is a shame because we like a big V8 in our G-Wagon.
Hell yeah.
Sitting right over here.
Sitting right over there, looking right at it.
Yeah.
Does Audi have a V8 product?
Yeah, they do. They got the 4-liter turbo V8.
Oh, you're right.
The S8 That's a great motor.
Yeah.
And
It'll
we
probably
could put it in the Audi G-Wagon.
And by the way, there's an SQ9 that has been spotted testing, which we think has that V8. I forgot.
You know what would be great?
QG.
You know what would be great? They call it the H-Wagon. The Q-Wagon.
The Q-Wagon.
That's what they'll call it.
All right. Next story.
Kulandawagen. There are no more news stories, but we have to move into the Talk Car segment. The Talk Car segment is brought to you by Kennan's girlfriend, Emily, and her M3 CRT. We got an Emily question coming up, so prepare yourself.
Wonderful.
Kennan's girlfriend, Emily. Okay, the Talk Car segment. I want to talk about cars today.
I would like to too. Whoa.
That's a car.
And I want to talk about the Arena Red 993 Turbo. Now, in the last 3 or 4 podcasts, I have stated that after 2.5 years of not buying a fun car, I am ready to buy another fun car.
Finally.
And what I want is an Arena Red 993 Turbo.
Sure.
I want a US Arena Red 993 Turbo with the big old ride height. And something that's happened here.
That's not US.
This is a US car.
The ride height.
Let's
is it high
VIN.
enough?
And something, no, this is a Euro.
Yeah.
And something that's happened here is that people have started to reach out. Now, folks, I appreciate the reach outs. I really do. It's lovely. However, I've been very clear that I want an Arena Red US. Now, you've heard me say it how many times?
So many times. I was actually pretty upset we're talking about it again.
Actually, anytime it's been mentioned, that's what I've
A dozen people have reached out with completely different things. A blue one, a Euro, a black one. People have been getting at me in every way they can. I heard you wanted a 993 Turbo. Hey, I saw the pod. Is this interesting to you? No.
But thank you for sending it in.
No, I don't even thank them. There's almost a condescension to it. Like, Doug, I know I can talk you into this. This isn't what you want, but I can talk you into it. F off! I want an Arena Red 993 twin turbo USA car, like this one, except the USA car.
I get a lot of our generalized emails where the email is publicly available. And my favorite type is the one that's like, hey, I know a buddy who is friends with a dealer whose buddy has a uncle with a 993, but I bet I could connect you to the buddy's uncle.
It turns out to be a coupe, a base model cab with tip, but it is Arena Red.
Turns out it was a 964 the whole time.
And also that uncle died and now the car's gone. Yeah, it's so many layers away.
Ago. Arena Red 993 twin turbo, folks. I do not want to mince words. I don't know what that means. Okay. Hey, this car pod. You know I'm all about value, whether it's my Porsche Carrera GT or a quirky Nissan Murano Cross Cabriolet that makes you do a double take. But today, let's talk about a different kind of asset, Acre Gold. Inflation's hitting harder than a V10 at Redline. Gas prices, parts, even your average car wash is way up. So if you're worried about where to put your money, Acre Gold lets you invest in real 24-karat gold bars starting at just a few bucks a day. It's like buying a classic car that never rusts, never needs repairs, and always shines no matter what. out. The price of gold is up over 40% from last year. 40%. And here's the best part. Acre is easy. Just pure, shiny gold shipped straight to your door. They're really onto something with this. A solid, reliable investment that you can actually hold in your hand. And a fun thing to show your trustworthy friends. So head to getacregold.com. Protect your money. Keep it golden. That's getacregold.com. All right, now back to this car pod. The most important thing that happened this week is that Filippo and Kennan went to Road Atlanta. Tell us what happened.
It was delightful. We were there for IMSA's Petit Le Mans at Michelin Raceway Road Atlanta.
Yes.
Got to use the full name. And
we had are we contractually obligated? Okay.
No, this is fun.
Trademark.
You won't let me talk about first brand, so I got to talk about Michelin this way.
Oh, wow.
Thank you. We had the longest ever Cars and Coffee. We had 50 plus cars in our little car area that were there from 8 a.m. till the race ended.
Longest ever.
Well, from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. is a mighty long Cars and Coffee.
You think you have like the record?
We legitimately do think we do.
I can't believe I wasn't there for this. The longest ever Cars.
I don't know if you're aware, to actually set world records as
you got to pay.
You got to pay. You got to
Guinness.
have people out there. There's like a lot of work to do that. We didn't want to do that, but we do think it was probably the longest.
You had a 14-hour Cars and Coffee. You stayed there this whole time?
Ken and I were both there before 6 a.m.
Which, of course, it's amazing because normally for the Cars and Coffee we go to every single
I
week, and he's
leave
there
by,
for 10 minutes.
I'm there for an hour. I leave. This time I was there the entire time.
Can I ask you a couple questions?
You may.
Did you wear your giraffe shirt?
I wore my giraffe shirt the day before the Cars and Coffee. I was at the racetrack. I was talking to people. I was watching racing. It was delightful, but I wore it that day.
Who won the race?
It was Cadillac. Cadillac won the race,
but-
which I'm very happy about. But that wasn't the big talking point. The big talking point was that
Delta Wing
Aston
was
Martin came second with an NA V12 non-hybrid. The Valkyrie came second, which was amazing. That's the first podium of the year for them.
Yep.
And to do it in 2025, to hear an NA V12 car
Sounds good.
What
scream
did it
its way
sound
to
like?
second. It was like that.
No.
Amazing.
The
Do it again.
The Cadillac
I want
was
to
like,
hear it again. Wow.
The Cadillac was like, it was like iron thunder.
What's the motor to the Cadillac?
It's the V8.
Blackwing?
Was it?
Yeah. Was it just a lightly modded CT5V Blackwing?
Yeah,
No.
it was actually.
Typically, this is the
prototype,
This is
that
this is the
next
prototype.
I-
They look crazy.
I do want to say we talked to a ton of really cool people that like came from away.
Okay, that was going to be my last question. What was the coolest car?
Car or race car?
At our Cars and Coffee, there was a Mustang GTD for quite a while, which was very cool.
Which everybody was
a
like.
really cool R34 GTR.
Ed Bullien's Veyron.
Ed Bullion Veyron. I kind of forgot about that. Ed Bullion was there with his Veyron. A Zimmer.
He walked
was
right
there.
past it. Yeah.
A Zimmer.
Such an R5 turbo.
Yes, that was also cool.
Renault or
Renault, sorry,
Turbo.
Renault Turbo.
Really nice 996 GT2 from a guy that
GT3.
GT3, sorry, guy that drove it from Austin. And
Oh,
then
wow.
Was not looking forward to the drive home to Austin.
Wow.
But people
Very
came
nice.
from all over. There was a family that came from Maine, a father and a son that drove down from Maine to meet with Kennan and I.
Yep, it was-
Just
it
a
was
lot of
great.
really
What do
cool
those folks say to you? Like, I came from Maine.
Usually they say,
Right.
I think that your opinions are the best opinions in the podcast. That's what they
I heard a
lead with
lot of
normally.
conversations. No one said that, but
Oh, yeah.
mostly what people say to him is, "Are you Nick?" Is what most people say to you.
People think that I'm Nick, and I don't understand how this has happened. But like a lot of people ask me about my Multipla and about my Mercy, and maybe they think, "Oh, the Italian cars are owned by the Italian guy," and no, I don't buy real cars.
It's owned by the French guy.
It's owned by Nick Rochon.
So you went there and you were there.
It was delightful.
Do you feel a sense of when someone says, "I drove all the way from Maine to see you"? Do you feel you got some like obligation to that? Like you have to tell them, you have to be cool.
Yeah, and they learn quickly that. Obviously, I'm not.
Is that a problem?
No,
for
I
you?
think they know what they're getting.
Kennan, what was your best encounter?
Well, I met a lot of wonderful people, but without question, my favorite one I met was a dog named Teddy, a golden retriever named Teddy, who I said hello to me. He came over and he sat on my foot and then he laid down and just talked. Well,
This was a
the
local
owner.
dog?
He talked to. We talked about cars. They were from Florida, I believe. A husband and wife came up and.
What were they driving?
Sweet.
I can't remember because I was too distracted by Teddy, to be totally honest.
I think
But they were so nice, and Teddy is a very good boy.
Can I say what I think my actual favorite car was?
Boeing's
Somebody
there.
came in a
Boeing's there was great.
Toyota Sports 800, which is their first sports car. the first Toyota sports car ever made. Not the little first, but
Yeah,
the
okay,
model
I
was
know
the
the
first
car.
one.
I know the
and
car.
that was so cool. And I parked it. I had to park in the middle between rows of cars because it was tiny. It was so
Oh,
delightful.
you got to choose where cars
No.
were.
No.
For the most
Ryan,
part,
who works
Ryan
for
from our
us, he
team
chose where
did because
everything
he's
went.
much more artistic and good at this than I am. But I chose that one.
Oh, how sweet.
That was nice. My favorite car that showed up, other than Ed's, because the Veyron's the Veyron, there's a built E46 M3 sedan, not a wagon. Somebody built the sedan. They took a ZHP and like did the whole thing. And
Looked good.
Again, I'm not a huge fan of modified cars, but it had the S54 and had manifold stuff, but it was also turbocharged, and turbo was hidden underneath, and the guy had it to stock exhaust, so it was quiet because he wanted it to be
That's
silent
very
and
cool.
subdued. It was really well done. And it was red. It looked great.
Wheels?
The competition wheels. The M3 comp wheels. Yep.
You know, I like the base wheel in the E46 M3.
I did too. And the CHP wheel is good.
Yeah, but if you want
If you want to do it right,
M3.
But nonetheless, I mean, it looked amazing. But all the cars that showed up were really
it
great.
was
And
incredible.
people were around a long time. It wasn't just us that were there for 10
people were
hours or
around.
whatever. It
Wonderful.
was amazing.
And it was just so nice to like. It's always fun every single time to meet with people, to chat, to learn about their Vora that they drove there from Indiana.
Yep.
To like learn about them and be able to connect with them, and
Well-
also to watch a lot of racing.
Well, and I want to say I'm very grateful to everybody who came out and said hello and talked to us. We're very humbled by this every single time it happens, but it's just really
delightful.
fun. All we want to do is talk about cars, some different from one another.
Oh, yeah.
But we really just want to talk about cars. So
I'm very sad that I couldn't have been there. I really hope I am
were
able to
missed.
go next year. Indiana's not far from Atlanta.
No, I know.
It's about 45 minutes.
Oh, 45 minutes.
You drive through Kentucky and Tennessee, right there.
It was very amusing to talk to people that were from Atlanta and people that drove in from somewhere else that you think is far,
Right.
and actually took them the same amount of time.
Yeah.
I drive from downtown Atlanta to the racetrack.
Atlanta's
which
far
is
from the
not
track.
Close.
There's
it's
two more.
delightful.
There's two more talk cars things we absolutely have to cover. One is that I want to talk about the Cannonball Hotel.
Oh, sure.
This week,
Does that have a good pool?
This week I attended a dinner at the Portofino Hotel in Redondo Beach.
Oh, wow.
And this is not irrelevant to you at all. It doesn't matter to your life, except that this particular, there you go. This particular hotel, that's the thing that's out front. This particular hotel happens to be the finish line of the Cannonball race. So all those guys that drive cross country and set the record, Ed Bolian and Alex Roy and all those guys, the starting point is a random parking garage on the Lower East Side of Manhattan used to be called the Red Ball Garage, might still be.
It is still.
And the finish line is this hotel, the Portofino Hotel in Redondo Beach. And I just happened to have a dinner there. The organizer of the dinner did not realize the significance of the hotel, which is obvious. So I'm driving up to the hotel, and it hits me that what I really need to do is to take a picture at the finish line and send it to Ed Bolian.
It's brilliant.
And say to Ed, I just did it in 24 flat. The proof's coming out tomorrow. And I was like, this is going to be a great trick.
On his birthday, no less.
Was it his birthday?
His birthday was like a couple days ago.
And so
Happy
I
birthday.
did that. And I don't know if he bought it, but then I told him it was not true. But I pulled up at the hotel, surprised to see this large commemorative marker to this thing. And as I'm taking a picture of myself and of the car that I drove up there with me, a guy walks up and two guys, and they go, "Did you just finish?" And I was like, "No." And they're like, "We did."
Dang.
And they had done it in a Defender. One of them had done it. They had met there and become friends or whatever. But one of them had done it in a Defender in 36 hours.
Wow.
A new Defender with 36 hours. So that's pretty quick.
Certainly not an
the
old
record
Defender.
is like 25, but 36 is still.
Quick.
If you're not Ed Bolian like going hard with a fuel tank in the car, years worth of prep, 36 is pretty legit.
Yes.
To drive from New York City to Los Angeles.
Yes.
It got me wondering, like, I was just taking a picture out front. How often are people showing up at this hotel and this is like a reason that they're there? Like, I just finished, And it just so happened that I was there this weekend in October. This is like the weekend typically people have done this. There's like this feeling that October is the right time. People are back in school. The road construction is over.
Air is cooler, yeah.
There's not many
not
people on the
weather.
road.
Yeah, for sure.
There's like this feeling about October specifically, and almost all of the records have been set in October. And so I kind of wondered if there would be other people there who had done it, and it turned out there were.
Wow. They put you in your place.
They did.
That's really cool.
What's your average speed at 36 hours?
I don't know. It's a lot.
High. It's in the 90s.
Impressive. For
I don't think it's in the 90s, but it's.
I think it is because like Alex did 3104 and his average speed I think was 89 or it was 92, something like that, 91. I can't remember exactly.
Well, okay, let's figure it out.
Actually, the book is right back there. I can probably go check if you want me to.
31,
It's 2,800 miles. So in 36 hours, your average speed is 78 miles an hour.
Yeah, that's impressive though.
It is. I will say to Alex, they have a interesting relationship with Alex. It is interesting to me that he did the 3104, and that was like his big claim to fame. Ed beat him by 5 hours, and this dude, who is just a guy with a Defender, only lost to him by 5 hours. You know what I'm saying?
Ace
did like 5 runs. He like had all these people with him. He did all this surveillance equipment. Like this dude got in a Defender.
Well, yeah, but at the time, like Waze didn't exist. I mean, it was 2006, I think, when Alex did it. I mean,
So you think that Defender Man only was so close because of Waze?
Well, and also like fuel efficiency has changed with more modern cars.
Interesting.
Wow.
You think that the new Defender is more efficient than Alex's E39 M5?
Yeah.
I mean, factually, probably.
My car is not particularly fuel efficient.
Well, let's see. New Defender fuel economy is
you're driving
1419.
Well, don't forget, a Defender, you can put a gigantic fuel cell in it.
But the thing,
the dude
was
put
a guy.
fuel cell in it?
He was a guy.
I don't know. Did you look inside the Defender?
Dude, he didn't have a fuel cell in his.
How do you know?
Well, first off, no one who puts fuel cells in does it in cars with open interiors.
Oh, okay.
But also, he was a guy. He wasn't like, he told me this was like on a whim. He just like did it. He wasn't like,
Don't take anything away
That's
from
impressive.
Alex's achievement. Like, it was real.
I will, in fact, take something away from Alex's achievement that Ed Bullion did it 5 hours faster in a used car he bought at Odessa auction, Mannheim. Like,
We're going to start a feud with the Autonocast people. They're going to make us talk
No, I liked Alex's approach.
The other thing to discuss, in addition to my Cannonball Run attempt, is that Kennan has posted in this thing. Did you see what he wrote?
I did.
He said that he is actively looking for cars.
Is it a Viper? Is it a...
Hit us.
I have been looking for cars. One that would popped up locally, but I'm SL55 is a car that was kind of.
Why are we thinking SL55?
You know, he and I were talking about it on Live Now on the Cars and Bids YouTube channel, and like there's such a value, and there's like around, and the M113K is a wonderfully reliable engine. It's a convertible. Yes, it's an automatic, but like, you know. A friend Nick happens to be getting another supercharged Mercedes convertible, and so.
Oh my God, that's not confirmed.
No, he's only mentioned it a couple of times on the podcast,
and in his own videos,
and on Instagram, and to anybody who asks,
to anybody who doesn't ask,
so he's throwing a party, and so I kind of like got me thinking about that. So I've kind of been looking for cars like in and around the $20,000 range, but we keep talking about the third gen Viper, and it's like maybe I just do it. Like
that would be cool.
Third gen.
May I make a suggestion?
We have a third gen Viper,
but I have reached out to sellers and stuff like, and have talked to people.
Wow,
and
we're ready.
We're like, I'm ready.
But
yeah.
When you, this is not news to me. We've talked about this.
Yes.
But you also told me that you reached out to somebody that was selling it, and you set up a meeting for 2 weeks from that point. Well, you're never gonna get a car.
It wasn't 2 weeks. It was a week. 3 days later. But we'll move on.
Felt like more.
Can I make a suggestion?
You're wrong.
Today I was driving into the office in my Lamborghini.
I haven't considered a Countach.
There was a fellow at the fuel station there who was in an SL65.
Wow.
Not a 55, but a 65. That's a twin-turbo Victory 12.
Victory 12, that is what we call it in the industry.
Let me tell you something. If you're in an SL65, that's what you call it. Click on that one.
This one?
We have the red interior. This is the coolest damn car in the world. You don't want one of these?
I do. I'm concerned about the maintenance costs, even short term, of having that V12 in your life.
What if I offered
to
give you something towards the maintenance costs?
What would you give me?
It would be a 993 twin turbo scale model.
You know, I do want that. I do want that. I do want this car. It's about double what I was looking to spend. You had to spend about 40 to get like an okay one, and they're just hard to. They didn't make many, so they're a little bit hard to find.
But do you agree that it's double the cool?
To me, yes.
And to you, it's a V12.
The market agrees too.
You want to go hard?
Yeah, I'm not.
That little scoop.
I do want that car.
That little scoop with the wheels. I saw this thing today when I was driving in. I was like, this is unbelievable.
How?
I want to buy my uncle's because he has one and it is perfect. But like, maybe perfect isn't exactly. No, that's the thing. He won't get rid of it. He has all these Ferraris and he's got that, and he just.
What about his favorite nephew?
He likes it too much.
Just consider it.
I'll think more on it.
What else are we looking at? Third gen Vipers, Soul 55.
Vipers. I started looking at. There's some 987 Caymans I had looked at.
Do love it.
I've been looking around. Yeah, it's a great car. But I worry about that. I get that. Then when I get the Boxer Spider, it won't feel as like. I don't know. It's just like I think I just want to save that for the Boxer Spider.
Also not a convertible.
I understand, but my point is the driving experience is not that different, so I want to
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to.
But saving it for XYZ is kind of what's put you in this position today, where you haven't had a lot of special
I know.
cars.
I think the point is I want to get something. I want.
Love
the
it.
Cayman's a bad example. But I want a convertible ultimately. This is so cool, and the press that starter and hear that sound.
What if I could
start a
get
motor
you
sound?
a manual Italian convertible today?
Does it have
Actually,
trim falling
right
off?
now.
Of it? Does it have an
It's not
armrest?
falling off. Yeah, it has.
No, it
an
doesn't.
It's the metal.
There's one on
piece
the
that
door.
holds the armrest is still there.
What is the status of this 500 Abarth? Have you sold this car yet?
Well, no, because we're going to be using
like
it in some soon to be announced videos.
You got to get rid of this thing.
I know. Our producer said I couldn't. I tried. Hey, Kennan, I got 3 keys. That's probably
I've
two more
used
than you
this
need.
key a couple of
But
times.
so we're looking
Give it
and we're
up to
serious. So
no.
so what's the plan? You're gonna buy it. You're gonna drive around a little. When do you think you drive an SL55 and not your M5? You walk out to the garage, you see an SL55 sitting there. You see your M5.
It's just like it would be something I would just go back and forth between. Like I don't think it's like a. I mean, I don't think there's any situation where I drive one or the other necessarily. It's just like it'd be fun to still have something cruise to
I'm
cars
into
and
it.
coffee. I want something ideally that's not going to cost me a ton in maintenance. And the thing I'm going to have to temper is my constant desire to perfect, which is going to be really, really,
Are you not
really
concerned about the powertrain is reliable, but are you not concerned about the power
hard.
top or
AVC
the
and top, and
active body
that
control?
that stuff is a concern. Yes, finding one with a top that functions is really important. I am a little bit concerned about that.
Or you know what you could do? Get an
CL.
SL65 Black Series.
Hard
And
top
you got
already.
you don't have to worry about any of that.
Yeah, I consider the CL65 as well.
Those are cool, but those are big money.
Yeah, and I feel like
CL65s have like some real interest in the market.
yeah.
Pull up. We got any sales?
Yeah,
I think I'm not sure.
we've sold some.
I guess it's not that much. 30 grand.
30 grand. That's actually less. I
Buy
think
this
in
one.
most cases.
Buy this one.
Well, I missed it by
52,000 miles. Buy this one.
many months.
It was August. No, it was 2 months ago.
And it was in Arizona.
Send a message to the new owner. He hasn't had time to really get comfortable with it. Let's buy this car.
Man, those wheels, best wheels Mercedes ever put on any car.
Really?
Best
Ever.
everything.
We like them.
Oh my god.
Oh my God, those are the wheels.
These are
I don't.
It's the great.
I actively dislike them.
Oh,
This is the all-time
Tim.
greatest factory wheel.
Filippo, that wheel.
Why? Why is he doing this?
He's afraid because it's looking at him. It's gonna fire him right now. That wheel.
Go back to
that
the
caliper.
exterior shot of the car. Filippo, this wheel is world
I
famous.
think it is an active detriment to the car.
Oh,
Oh my
my God.
God.
I've heard a lot of bad takes in my day, most of them from Hoovy. And you're going to come here and say this on our podcast?
I will not have such slander thrown at this wheel. This is one of the all-time great wheels. Period.
Get Ryan Lopez in here. Okay, we got to move on to the market report.
Yeah.
The market report, folks, is brought to you by Cars and Bids.
Wow.
That is the business that we're peddling with this podcast, okay? That is...
I wish we would do a little better, actually.
You think that we're just here podcasting. No, we have an agenda. We have a damn agenda. We want you to go to Cars and Bids, for God's sake. Anyway, it's a website where we sell and buy cars. I think we sell them.
It's an app, too.
We sell them. I think we buy them. People buy cars.
We don't buy them. We connect buyers and sellers with the
You
coolest
bought a car
cars.
one time on this.
Twice.
Anyway, that's what we're doing. And I want to talk about, a lot of times on the pod, we lambast Filippo for not understanding what total cost of ownership means.
Yeah.
And I was just thinking about it yesterday. The great total cost of ownership car, the G63. Pull up G63s,
Yeah,
please.
because values do not change.
G63. We just sold this one. Click on this one. This car, how many miles did it have? This is a 15 G63 with 120,000 miles, 115,000 miles. It still sells for $51,000. This is an 11-year-old car with 115,000 miles. There are not a lot of 2015 cars with 150,000 miles that would sell for $51,000 of any make and model. Certainly Bentleys are cheaper from this era.
100%.
Oh, absolutely.
And I was just thinking, this car, and it's also, this car is generally known to be reliable unless you kind of go overboard maintaining it and do things that you shouldn't do up at shops up in North County. And I generally find that this car, aside from the fuel costs, that this car is a great total cost.
So are we excluding fuel costs from cost of ownership?
Well, I think that fuel costs you have to, because you probably have to spend in any car. So.
I mean, that's kind of just a given. That's
you could calculate the difference between what this would be versus what other vehicle I guess you would buy.
Right. The depreciation, the tire buying cost of a Prius is probably the amount of fuel you put in that car over 117,000 miles.
Driving at 117,000 miles, sure. But if you wanted a car to drive for 3 years and put 15,000 miles on or something as like a fun extra car.
Our producer has a G550 and a Ferrari 360, and the G550 is his least fuel efficient vehicle.
Yeah, right. I just think that these cars, we've talked about this before. We've gone on G-Wagon rants before. I just was surprised to see this result because this is a car that someone has really used. It's not a low mileage car. It's not an especially like pristine car, but it's still bringing $51,000. Think of it. You know what a 2015 Range Rover sells for, which was the same cost
12,
new?
8, 13.
13.
Yeah.
I mean, it's unbelievable.
Agreed.
Even a Land Cruiser, which is so famous and all that, a 15 Land Cruiser is now a 30 car, 35 maybe.
If that, yeah.
This must be the floor for this car, right?
Maybe. I mean,
a little bit lower.
really early G55s are still 30s. So yeah, probably this doesn't get much cheaper.
I love an early G55. I know the ride is rubbish, but man, they are really cool.
Pull up. Do we got it?
We have one live right now.
We have one live right now, a blown one with mods. Go back.
Yeah, mods.
Let's see some stock. Let's see what some results have been.
I mean, give me a silver
30,
stocky. This one.
Wow.
38.
Wow.
38.
That one had miles.
You didn't buy this?
No, I'm not interested.
70,000.
You didn't buy this?
Not interested.
Why not? You think you're better than a G-Wagon?
No.
You think you're better than that?
I think I'm not good enough.
Oh, okay.
Well, I can't help you there.
Kennan, give us a market report.
I recently discovered that we often talk about, like, for BMWs, and I'm sorry to talk about a BMW, but we often talk about the F10 M5 being a great value.
Yeah.
Right? Well, recently, this M6 sold for $22,750. Now, it was in Canada, and it had 68,000 miles on it, but that does not look like a $20,000 car to me. I didn't realize that M6s had started to dip there. I knew F10 M5s were in the 20 and 30 range, but I didn't realize these were low 20s.
What about Grand Coupes?
Grand Coupes, I believe, are a little bit more. But I think that...
there you go. They're $10,000. Congratulations. Hey, Kennan.
171,000 miles.
Go back.
But
What are they generally selling for?
30.
They're a little more. It looks like they're mostly like high 20s, into the 30s, even the 40s.
My point, this is a much more exotic looking car than the F10.
The M5, I agree.
The F10 M5.
That side shot, go back to that. That looks really athletic.
That's really appealing.
You know, I drove one of these, and a guy had it in Imperial Beach, and I did a video on it years ago, and I thought it was really nice.
Yeah, I think it's a great car, and like the interior is still pretty modern, and like, I don't know, I just like those cars are dipping into the low 20s and high teens.
It is interesting to me how some like modernish cars are now getting cheap. This doesn't look that different from a new BMW interior.
No, and I don't really think the user experience is that much different.
CarPlay.
CarPlay, yeah. Well, I think it has CarPlay.
I think it does, but probably not wireless.
Yeah,
which is what Filippo like needs. He's grown accustomed to it.
Actually, sadly, base model Mark 8 GTIs have wired CarPlay.
Wired CarPlay. I completely agree. I think it's a great value. It's a beautiful car. Fast. What is it, 500 horse?
560.
They do have some issues with reliability.
Well, that's every BMW ever made.
Speaking of BMWs, Filippo, you have a market report for us?
I do, but I don't want to speak about BMWs at all.
Okay, go for it.
Can we talk about, let's go for Purosangue.
Oh, I'm just
Ferrari.
I still don't know how to type Purosangue.
Okay, we just had one fail to meet reserve.
Yeah.
It was interesting because I think there's been very few Purosangues on the secondary market. There were a couple when it first came out a year ago.
Yeah.
That sold for a little bit over MSRP.
Yeah.
We're now a year in to these being.
We had one, right? Didn't we sell one for big money?
I don't remember. Truly, don't remember. That's how much I think about Purosangues.
Well, a purist over
what
here.
was the sticker on this one?
The sticker on this was like 490-ish, and it had 2,000 miles, some of that. Turns out the market does not think these are worth Like, these are normal depreciating SUVs. They are not depreciating like the most desirable Ferraris.
It was bid to 415.
They're also not depreciating like the SF90, which is the fastest depreciating item.
Well, we'll see. I think it's a little too early to say how if it's depreciating.
But
like
it is
SF90.
certainly not holding value like the most desirable Ferraris.
But no surprise.
No.
I mean, none of the SUVs ever have for any of the brands.
No
Lambo,
2+2 Ferrari has ever.
True.
And although this
Also
is
true.
a four-door car, which is their first one, it's not a surprise. It is very cool.
When you look at
love this car, but
Cullinan and Urus, you kind of Cayenne, you kind of
you
figured,
see.
and then that's a good point. FF and GTC4 Lusso and 612 and 456, all those, they've always tanked.
But now we have evidence, because there have been very few for sale, but now we know for sure.
Yeah. And I actually bet you that when demand and supply catch up a little bit more on the new market, you're going to see even more significant
agreed.
depreciation on the used market. I think right now there are still some waiting lists. There are still excited people. There are people still who are kind of going after them and want them and all that, which is probably pushing used demand up a little bit. I think that it's going to change. I have a suspicion that in a couple more years, these are going to really start to see a bigger depreciation.
They become appealing at some price point.
I think it's appealing full stop. to be
I think
honest
it's
with you.
the best SUV, the best driving SUV I've ever been in.
Really?
Yeah, but it better be with a 490 sticker or whatever that was. It's amazing. It is. That car is such an athlete. That car makes the Carrera GT look like a Carrera GT.
Yeah.
Okay, it's time for the questions, folks. The questions. This is very important to us because it's the only time when you get to communicate directly with Filippo.
That's so true.
It's the only time when you're able
I
to
blocked
sit here.
myself off.
Yeah, Filippo
for
is in a
this.
silo. He's in a silo of stone.
We just power him down.
Can I be? Is that an option?
There's no Wi-Fi in there.
Oh, never mind. Not interested.
He's in
Is
a
there Slack?
silo of stone.
Have we found a way to have Slack?
But when the questions come, it is your opportunity to directly. Now, when he communicates with you, you can't talk back. You can't ask a follow-up. That's what I'm here for. So if you want to ask a question, you go to carsandbids.com, you click on the community tab, there's a post here that says questions, and then you post your question. People have been submitting tons and tons of questions. It's lovely.
Many questions.
And I go through now all the questions and find the ones that I think are the most interesting.
Okay.
We're going to start with Lucas Zanger. You think that's his real name?
I think it's an alias.
Hey, Doug, we love Nick. Please add another chair and make him a permanent member of the pod. Well, Lucas, we're not doing that for a couple of reasons, including the fact that Nick has a job. He's not employed here. He just shows up. Sometimes he just shows up. I was filming the other day. We're 30 minutes from his house. I was filming the other day, and he texted me and said, hey, I'm here. No one else. It was just me in the office. I hadn't invited him.
I'm so glad he does.
And I was like, Nick, I'm shooting audio. I'm sorry. You gotta wait. That was my Nick experience.
That's
I will
it.
say,
Good Nick.
good news for everybody. We have a couple of non-overlapping trips coming up. You're gone. I'm gone. Kennan's gone. Somebody else is gone.
I'm not gone during a
and-
podcast.
And Nick will be here filling in.
So that's what I was going to say. So we can't add Nick because he has a job, but I think the next 4 podcasts in a row. Yeah, and then there's also our libel and slander insurance. It doesn't cover. We can only have him on once a month. No, the next 4 podcasts.
Yeah.
We have Nick because I'm gone for 2, and then you're gone for 2. And so Nick is going to be sitting in this chair or that chair or some chair.
A chair.
Talking to people, and it's going to be great. So I can't make him permanent, but I can make him semi-permanent. You're going to have a November of Nick.
Nick Vember.
Nick Vember.
And also 2 weeks in October. Okay. Next question from Rogue Papaya.
Oh.
Hey, Doug, what enthusiast/supercars do you recommend for taller drivers? As a fellow 6'4" tall guy, and by the way, in meters, that's 26. Many of my... I don't know how they do it over there. Many of my favorite cars seem to be feasible as a weekend. Don't seem feasible as a weekend car, let alone a daily driver. I'd like to avoid the Mr. Incredible look if possible. You know, where he's like crammed.
Of course.
I actually never have had problems in any car except the Ferrari Boxer and the Saleen S7.
Those are
It
both.
depends on how your height is distributed.
It depends on how your height is distributed. I've never had issues.
I have to say, I've been in both of those cars, and even I, at 6 feet tall, had problems.
Those are tight. So
Yeah.
don't get those. But the ones to get, I don't know. I truly have never really had issues in fitting into basically any vehicle.
I don't know. I'm 5'8".
You just hop right in.
Yep.
So that's my answer. Is the way that I am configured.
It is interesting getting into a car after you.
Yeah,
Because you are legitimately 8 inches taller than me. I don't have to move the seat generally.
Dude, I sit close. I'm like a race car driver. You ever see Mario Andretti? He's not doing one of these. Mario Andretti is up there. All right? I like to zip around. I'm like Kennan.
I do like to sit close. Same thing. I don't have to move the seat when you drive a car.
Boom. Sorry for not giving you a better answer, Rogue Papaya. Okay, here's a good question. From Broke Med Student 8832. The three of you are given $250,000 with the stipulation that you can only use it to purchase one enthusiast car that you share.
Oh, dear.
What would you agree on? I don't usually like these. You have X number of dollars, whatever questions. I usually skip them because it's just gets. But this is a good one. We have to agree on something.
I know what Kennan's going to say.
Okay. Salvage title Ford GT.
No, Kennan's going to say a Z8.
No, it's also 128,000.
What about
Well, a nice Z8.
What about a 993?
Yeah, that might be the answer.
Really?
Surprising.
Don't do that.
How much is an Elmo 2?
6 cylinders.
Yeah.
Let's pick something more
Too expensive.
exciting.
You can't get into Lamu for $250.
No.
What about a 575?
Dude, that's half the price.
All day, that's half the price.
Swap it stick.
A good swapped 575.
That's still half the price.
Okay, well, you don't have to use every penny.
Or you
Well,
get a Super America with no swap. Do that for $250. Would you do that?
I would like the top to work.
So
Well,
550
then-
Barchetta.
There you
Those
go.
are too expensive.
Those are way too expensive.
A Ford GT is not a bad. Can you
Salvage.
find any
You
for
can't.
250?
Salvage.
No.
Are we past the 250 days?
Oh yeah, I don't even think you can find a salvage, but I would if you wanted to go with that, I would go with that, and we could move on.
Mercy would be easier.
Oh, yeah,
at that
Mercy.
price point, but
No,
only
what about a
easier.
swappy swap?
Maybe a swapped Mercy.
You'd have to buy it.
You have to
do the
buy
swap.
and swap it, and then you're towing around there.
I would do that.
Would you do that?
No, you're right. Good point.
What about a 575?
You're going to have to elevate.
I would do a 575.
What about a 612?
Oh,
No.
yeah, but that's 75.
612.
That's okay, it's 90.
100.
Okay, fine. Do a Novatec body kit.
Never mind. We're off 612. What else? Diablo you can get for 250, right?
Yeah. What about a Diablo?
No, thank you. Not interested.
Okay. Well, this is the problem.
You're the problem.
So what's wrong with 575? Why didn't you agree
No,
to
no,
that?
I did.
All right, we're doing 575.
575 and a
But
bunch
why
of
not
cash.
a 993?
Come on, for 250?
What like desirable
it's one
997
car.
do you get for 250?
All of them.
Spikers are
996 GT2.
Ooh, a spiker.
They're too much.
Too much.
996 GT2.
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
great.
Oh wow.
I'd do D.
What are you?
I mean, not more than
what are you,
Mercy.
Porsche guys?
No, but I could become one.
No, just you.
Doesn't
I
have
would
a
do.
feature. Wait, G-Wagon Cabriolet.
No, not for 250. Even
Okay.
he wouldn't do it for 250.
I wouldn't even consider it. You gotta have more fun in your life than that. Okay, next question from CX9er. Rank Emily's car history.
Oh,
Great question. Emily is Ken's fictional girlfriend.
yeah.
That's fair.
And we did an office tour many moons ago, and I announced that Kennan would sometimes shack up here with Emily. I don't remember what.
No, I would sleep when she kicked me out.
Right,
Upset
right,
that
right.
I'd done something with the
but
car.
sometimes one thing leads to another, and the opposite happens. Anyway, Emily drives an M3 CRT, and for those of you who don't know what that is, Emily knows. What did Emily have before the M3 CRT, Kennan?
I assume an Audi Q5.
She had an E46 M3 before that.
Oh yeah.
She had a CSL.
And before that, she had the E36 M3 with the flag on the lightweight.
LTW. She had a lightweight. Before that, it
She had
was
an E30 M3, the Evo.
Yep, the Ricardo Portrait or whatever. One of the limited editions.
She
of that.
only does really rare M3s.
No, there was an E30 M3 convertible. That's what,
There you go. You got to start somewhere.
She had a cab.
that's what it was.
So Emily's real, and
She only owns the best.
she only owns the best. But but the thing is, the F80 never gave her what she wanted.
No, she only wanted NA engines, and so she stopped at the M3
Stopped at this
CRT,
one. She wanted a carbon fiber trunk lid.
and she wanted red accents.
I forgot about the red accents. I always forget about the stupid red
They're
accents.
so abhorrent.
Next question from Henry JH. A simple question to hopefully stoke your interest in motorcycles. How does it feel that my $8,000 motorcycle is faster than your Carrera GT? Fine. Speed is about 87th on my list of things that I'm interested in, and you have not stoked my interest in motorcycles. In fact, if anything, you have terrified me even more that you can buy for $8,000 a motorcycle that is faster than a Carrera
Can
GT. All motorcycles are incredibly fast. Harleys are faster than like every car, and they're Harleys. They're little, and they got big engines.
Yeah.
They go really fast.
They don't weigh anything.
But I don't want to die. And if you have a motorcycle, you will die. Am I wrong?
Your likelihood
100%.
increases,
We also
that's
will
for
die
sure.
with cars. So.
Dude, we're bamming through these. We're going to get to every question.
We're going to get to every question.
Okay.
And from Knox 2, this has been maybe a longer question. How is Infiniti still in business? I hardly ever see new Infinitis on the road. They discontinued the QX50 and the QX55, their SUVs. So they're down to only 2 models now, which I don't even, just the QX80 and what? How do they maintain a dealer network at this point? Is there anything you think they could do to save themselves?
They are coming out with a lot of additional products.
But they were all going to be electric.
No. They're part of Nissan's revamped roadmap that we talked about a few months ago includes some actual Infiniti models.
I don't really know the answer to this question either, to be honest, how they're still around.
Look, when you're an automaker, it's really tough to decide to give up all of that brand equity. And also you have contracts with a lot of dealers and suppliers and factories, and like it's a big decision to wind it down. Because you are fundamentally saying we never think this is gonna work again. We're never gonna try this again. And also it's a giant FU to a whole lot of people that trusted in your brand.
Yeah.
And then build dealerships, follow your brand guidelines, build parts for you, etc.
I would argue,
and I get why they don't.
Some
You're
would say the
getting to
writing's
that
been
point.
on the wall for a long
You're getting to
time.
that point. You might not be quite there yet because QX80 is new and I've seen more of them around than I expected, but you're getting to that
They're all
point.
rental fleets.
You're getting to that
No, agreed.
This is the signal, Jerry. This is the signal.
I mean, like it you know, when you can't even sell a mid-size SUV or a mid-small Q5 size, that's that's the market. You got to wonder, will there ever be interested buyers for this brand ever again? Will there ever be a market that really wants these cars ever again?
It's impressive that they have failed so spectacularly at building a luxury mainstream brand when they had fundamentally built one. The G35 was really popular. The G37 was popular.
The FX.
The FX was never popular, but
it was huge. You
It was
weren't
large,
even in
sizable.
America at the time. You didn't see any in Italy. Well, of course you didn't.
I think they have to hope that they can revitalize it, but I would not be shocked if
I
they realize
honestly
they
think,
can't.
you know, something that hit me that I found kind of interesting is the new Pathfinder and the new Armada, I think are segment leaders.
Got it.
I truly
As separate
believe-
segments, yes.
Yeah, I truly believe that in their segments, those cars, I think the Pathfinder isn't maybe quite as good as Telluride
fine.
Palisade, but I would put it in top 5.
Yeah,
And
fine.
I would put Armada in top 2. And
Well, there's 3 entrants in the class. So
no, I mean, you have Tahoe, Yukon Expedition, and Sequoia, and Grand Wagoneer. And I would argue legitimately that in spite of that, no one is buying those cars. And so you start to wonder what would be required for people to do that.
Yep.
And with Infiniti especially, moving beyond Nissan, with Infiniti especially, what would it take? Right. Do you know what I mean? Like the Pathfinder is a great vehicle,
Yep.
and people aren't buying it because the Nissan brand is so sullied. The Infiniti brand is even more sullied. What would it take? They could make the best car in the segment, and it's still not that desirable to people because they don't want an Infiniti.
And the QX60 looks good. There's the other model they sell. Looks good, and it's based on their Armada.
It's based on the Pathfinder.
That's what I meant. Sorry, yeah.
And presumably it is good for that reason.
And it looks nice. It's surprising they're not more successful. They haven't invested that heavily in marketing the brand, I don't think.
Or creating good cars for the brand. But I truly wonder, like, at some point, do you sit here and say, no matter what we invested, the reputation and the brand and the desirability is just too far gone?
Yeah. And then at that point, you cut. I mean, they sold 58,000 cars last year, 10% down from 2023. That's notable. Can you turn that around, or can you sustain it at those numbers? Maybe.
It's basically a U.S.-only brand, too. They already tried and failed in Europe.
Felipe was looking at a graph. A lot of red on that graph.
They've been around. I mean, in 2022, they only sold 46,000 cars. They were in the mid 100s.
Yeah.
In the
I'd be curious, though. I don't really trust this whole sales figures thing. I had a fight with a Buick guy one time about this. I don't really trust the sales figures. I want to see sales
This
figures.
is from our friends at Good Car Background.
I want to see sales figures that aren't fleet sales.
Yeah.
I want to see sales figures that aren't fleet sales, which are generally
for
either
Infiniti?
profitless or really close to profit.
For Infiniti, you're rounding to zero.
That's the thing. And that is a different conversation. Okay, next question from Julian275. By the way, the answer to this question, before I even ask it from me and Kennan, is no, none. But Filippo will have an answer.
Modification? What is it?
After having RJ Scaringe on the podcast, he runs the Rivian, folks. Do you have any desire to have more automotive figures or CEOs on? Who would be your dream guest? No, none. Filippo, who?
Yeah, I found it really enjoyable to talk to RJ. I think our audience found it really enjoyable to talk to RJ.
They did.
Based on numbers. So I would love to have more of those conversations. I think Jim Farley is the most enthusiast
agree?
CEO right now, and I said that would be an interesting conversation.
Do you agree? that we
Jim,
would
reach out.
CEO or nothing.
Yeah.
So if Honda came to us and was like, you can talk to our head of
Not
product
interested.
planning to explain why we're such little careful people.
Not interested.
I'd be like, no.
Yeah.
I want the Japanese fella and a translator.
Yep.
I
He may
only
speak
want
English.
the top.
It's true.
He may speak English, but yeah.
Don't
that'd be
you
delightful.
think?
Stefan Winkelmann.
Yeah.
Bring him in.
Don't you think that our pod deserves the top?
Yeah. Yes, we've been there.
Yeah.
We've been to the Zenith already.
This isn't like a pod that Hoovy does, where he can interview like kind of a the fellow who's been designing radio head units at Chrysler in the 90s.
I mean, hard to get people to go to Wichita. So
Right. I only want the top. So if you're an automaker, Mary Barra or nothing.
Mary Barra I would talk to, but less interesting.
Why?
I think that we're an enthusiast podcast. There are a couple CEOs that are very much car enthusiasts where I think that conversation.
You don't think
would be more
Mary
natural.
Barra? She's spent her whole life in the biz, dude.
I think
they
she
sell the
like-
ZR1X.
I think she, like me, is a car industry enthusiast. Others, like Jim Farley, I think is a car enthusiast who's in the
Can we have a
industry.
formal? Can we have Luca de Montezuma?
I want Mary Barra on, and I want to quiz her back and front about Caprice. That's all I want to talk about. Caprice Classic, the newest Caprice, the police only one.
Yeah.
And I don't want to go into SS. I don't care about that. Okay. And by the way,
John Elkann, I would
you
do.
make an interesting point about...
Sergio Marchionne, if he came back from the dead, I would.
Luca's alive.
yeah, that's fine.
You make an interesting point about Jim Farley. However, I would also posit to you that Mary Barra, Jim Farley's Ford, right? Ford.
Yeah.
Mary Barra, it's General Motors. There's like a bunch of brands.
Yeah.
Not just Ford.
True.
She can talk to us about Holden. She can talk to us about Opel. She can talk to us about Pontiac. She can talk to us about
Opel,
Saturn.
not part of the GM family
damn.
anymore.
Man.
I'm really sorry.
Damn, I was really getting on this dead brand
Yep.
list and I screwed up.
I would talk to
That is not a
Akira
dead
Toyota.
brand. They just sold it to somebody else. God knows who.
Stellantis.
Maybe she can tell us why they sold it.
Well, we all know why they sold it. Why did Stellantis buy it? That's the real question.
Okay, I have to do 2 more questions.
Yeah.
Are you ready for them?
Ready?
Okay. Oh, here's a good one for Kennan. Hey, Doug. What is your craziest story of getting pulled over by a cop? Do cops ever pull you over in cool cars just to check them out or because they realize it's you? No, not really, but Kennan has some good police interactions.
Yeah, I've been pulled over 3 times ever.
Really?
Twice for speed, once for some reason I'm still not sure about.
Oh, wow. Give us that one.
That one, I was coming home. I was close to our neighborhood, which is in a relatively nice area, and the windows down. I was just driving the M5, just gotten off the highway. It was a cool, nice summer night. Put the windows down, I'm driving, and all of a sudden this cop car just spins around to follow me. Now, as I'm driving through, there's a kind of weird road, and there's another car in my lane coming directly at me. Like flashed and laid on the horn, and they dove over. Cop didn't turn his lights on. I go around the corner like I'm going. I go to go toward our neighbor. The cop turns his lights on, pulls me over, and they come up to me, and they go, the reason I'm pulling over is for window tint, which windows were down. So I was like, I'll get to that in a second, but did you not see the guy who was in my lane? They're like, no. I'm like, are you blind? Like it was I was upset. And then I said, I said, what are you pulling me over for again? They said, window tint. I went, really? And the guy got all flustered. He's like, we got to run your license.
Did he have a tint meter?
No. And then they were 2 cops. The other guy came up and he said, hey man, I just want to let you, I really like your 339 M5.
Did
I was
they,
like,
what was
and then they
rated?
realized I was in a nice, that I said I was, where are you going? I'm going home. It's literally up there. And they're like, oh, okay, no problem.
This was recent.
They wanted to see if
This
you
was
were DUI.
a year and a half ago, too.
They wanted to see if you were DUI. And you know what? Good call on their part.
How fast were you going on the highway before?
I wasn't. That was the thing. And they
What
didn't
did you
see me
get-
on the
what
highway
was-
as it was. It
what
was
were
like
the-
off the street. I can tell you what street it was
What
on,
were the speeds you got pulled over for back when you got speeding tickets?
One was 85 and a 65.
Oh.
And the cop told me he said, quote, if you're doing 80, I would have let you go.
Yeah.
Which is 15 over, which is still.
Yeah, but there's so many people doing 85, it makes sense.
I know, but he also
They're
was
not
very
going-
complimentary on the car. He said, "This is a really nice car. I understand why you're going so fast." And then, and the first time it was my friend Adrian. I was much younger, and I accelerated underneath the tunnel, and there was a cop right there, and he got me. And same thing. It was like, it's really cool. And they said, next time, just put it in neutral, and you can rev. There's no like, you can do that. So I saw him a couple weeks later, a cop coming, and I like put it in neutral and just took it right up to red line. He like gave me a thumbs up. A lot of cops are car people in the end. those are
Filippo's
my
only got
stories.
pulled over that one time.
I did get pulled over. I was about to say I've never been pulled over.
He got
never
pulled over that
received a
one time
ticket.
for his no front plate.
Yep, and the guy, I let him know that I was waiting on like the plate frame from which I was, and then he just said okay.
And you know what? To
Goodbye.
Filippo's credit, he now has a front plate.
I do.
on the
I
car.
legitimately did have a front plate.
And remember, he
on
mounted
order.
it before he cleaned the bumper. So underneath it, there's all sorts of bugs.
What's the problem with that?
What's the problem? I don't understand.
You just don't know.
The front of my car is PPF'd, so we're good.
It hurts me how little you know paint care.
Okay.
Plastic between the paint and the bugs.
I've gotten pulled over a bunch of times, but it's all worked out. What's the final? I don't have any great stories. The final question is from AJP Coons. Doug, can you talk about your employment with Enterprise Rent-A-Car? Did you know I used to work for Enterprise
I
Rent-A-Car?
did know that, yeah.
Yeah.
Only
What
one
was
time.
your position? What was your experience? What did you like and dislike? And did you leave because of your job offer from Porsche? No. Enterprise Rent-A-Car was a summer job that I had in the summer of 08. Summer of 08. I was home from college. Maybe it was 07. Anyway, doesn't matter. I was home from college, and that was my job. Yeah, summer of 07. 08 was... and then
What was your job at Enterprise?
I was a driver. So when they needed... Because Enterprise's big thing was they would pick you up.
Yeah.
And so I would go pick people up at their house and then bring them to the store so they could do all the paperwork, and then they'd have their car. Or I would, if a car, like someone had rented a luxury and it was across town, I would go with another driver, go pick it up and then bring it back to our
Wow.
location before they came.
That must have been thrilling to drive all those 20, what year
We'll
did you
take
say?
a guess. So it was 07, 08, somewhere in there. I can't remember if it was 07 or 08, but it was right in there. There were two cars that we were all really excited. Three
Cadillac
cars.
CTS.
Three
Must have
cars we
been
were
a
all
fleet.
really excited to drive.
Cadillac CTS.
You know, I don't think. Maybe.
must have been.
Maybe. It was a new CTS in
Yeah,
08.
but it came out in 05. Oh, wait, it was a new. I meant the gen before it. But
We didn't have the previous gen for sure. I think the new one had just come out.
Where Escalade's the luxury car.
We didn't have anything like that.
SUVs weren't as popular yet.
This was rental car companies have really gone into this luxury game, but at least back then we didn't have any.
Lincoln Town Car.
Maybe, you know, Ford was hooked up with Hertz
Oh, that's true. So you were at Enterprise.
because Ford had owned Hertz, and so I don't know that we had Fords because you have them, but it wasn't like, I mean, there were Expeditions and stuff, but
Avalon?
the number
No,
one
so
car
it's
that I
full
was
fleet.
excited to drive, which I got to drive maybe
Nissan
3
Maxima.
times all summer. Maxima was really hot.
Okay.
The new Maxima with the coin slot roof had just come out in like 04.
Yep.
And that was 265 horse. That
Yep.
was cool as hell. The G35, which was
I
brand
wondering
new.
Okay.
whether Infiniti put those in fleets or not.
Yeah, then it was brand new then. It had just been redesigned for like
Yep.
07, 08. And that was the car I
Cool
was
car.
most excited to drive. But also the Chrysler 300.
Oh, I forgot about that. How did I forget about that car?
This was the first gen 300,
Yeah, yeah.
the very
Yeah.
OG. And the base models were trash, but we had a few 300Cs with the
you
5.7
really?
Hemi, and that was the most
Oh.
exciting experience of my life.
Dang.
Driving one of those. I still remember some of my drives in the G35s and the Chrysler 300s, how excited I was at that time.
How cool.
And those were the cars. It was not that cool. Mostly we were driving really bad. This was the era where Chrysler had the Dodge Avenger and the Sebring, and those were the worst
Yep.
cars in the world.
They were tough, and the Caliber. Don't forget about the Caliber.
Caliber was the Patriot, the Compass. We had all those. Those were all. That was like the bulk. The Saturn Vue that was built in Mexico, the bad second-gen Saturn Vue. Maybe they were all built in Mexico. Anyway, that was my job, and I only did it for a summer, and I didn't go back after that. The next year, I worked at the Ferrari dealer in a similar job.
That's a big
Upgrade.
jump.
Yeah, and then that was that. What was your summer job?
I worked all year.
All right, fine.
I worked at a Subway sandwich shop for 2
When
years.
you
I
went
also
home-
painted houses all summer.
He paints out
For a couple times.
He's an Italian.
yeah.
Bulgarelli over here paints houses.
Hey,
What
paint houses.
did you would come home from school on the East Coast and you'd go back to Wisconsin, and what did you do there? That was where you painted houses?
In college.
Yeah.
I painted houses in high school. In college, I had like various internships and like more academic.
You never went
jobs.
back to Wisconsin?
I went back to Wisconsin. And I worked at the Department of Public Instruction as an intern for a summer.
This is a school.
This is the
Department of Public
state agency that
Instruction.
runs schools, yeah. And I also worked at the Value Added Research Center, which is a different like UW-Madison affiliated education research thing. That same summer.
This is Filippo's previous life.
One
Yeah,
summer I
it's-
was in Philly.
It feels like, so when You weren't at school. You were doing school-based business.
Well, I
were
worked
your-
in education.
What
Yeah.
were your summer jobs? Did you ever work in the car world? I never had a job that wasn't in cars.
No. I had my own like through high school. I had my own like lawn care thing. Is what I did. I mowed lawns and like for a bunch of different people. And that was,
Did
like,
you tow?
Meticulously,
Did you
sure.
tow a lawn thing, like a trailer of lawn equipment
I
behind
did.
your?
I did not do
BMW?
that. It was all local stuff. But like it was like I had like a lawn tractor. I'd drive over, do the thing. I had all my still equipment and all that stuff. Would do. I just love the precision of it. And it was, you can imagine how straight those lines.
Fun fact about Kennan that I will reveal on your behalf: when you would like do your chores and vacuum a rug or like a room that had carpet, there would be like the beautiful carpet lines, right?
No, I just dislike that. That's for
okay.
lawns.
All right. Apologies.
I hate that. When I see it on cars, it bothers me. I hate that.
Really, but for lawns, it's okay.
Yeah, lawns is where it belongs.
Interesting.
And golf
Like
courses, of course.
baseball, like
Right.
baseball outfields.
Yeah, that's the appropriate application of that striping.
My enterprise days were in Denver, United States.
A lot of straight suburban roads to deliver cars across.
Yeah, no, it was. And I remember there were some crazy incidents. Some people were nuts. One time there was a stolen car and they were like, go over to where the guy's address is and see if you can find it. And I was like, because people would just
Yeah.
steal, stop paying. And we did do that, but we didn't find it. Nor did we look hard. Okay.
The best.
You got anything else?
I think that's all for now.
Do we have anything to plug?
Just
Cars and bids.
Okay, but
has
there's
an
no
app.
like, we all know about the damn website. Cars.
Today's episode brought to you by Filippo's green corduroy jacket.
I
It
think
has
I'll have that
tabs
one
on
that-
the side for some reason.
Cars and bids. Bring the trailer. We all know.
Bring the trailer. Yeah. I said that accidentally the other day, and we're just going to use that now. Bring the trailer.
All right.
You know that
Cut that.
website, that
Goodbye,
bring that
everybody.
Facebook, you know, that face thing.
But nothing else. There's nothing else to add. We're not telling people to meet us anywhere. We don't have any events coming up.
We'll be at a bunch of different events. We'll have members of our team, including an event in the Bay Area this week. Go to carsandbids.com/events to find out everywhere they will be.
Carsandbids.com/events. Goodbye, everyone. Absolute pleasure.
Best podcast we've
Bye.
ever done. Goodbye.